Hey, welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to give you 5 traits of great leaders. Welcome back to the video. Todd Conklin, Conklin and Family. Today, I want to give you the 5 traits that I see in great leaders. I want to set the tone, though, before we get going. Leaders are everywhere. They are literally everywhere. They're in businesses, they're in communities, they're in churches, they're in homes. There's a leader even sitting in your chair right now. Here's the point. We are all leaders in some capacity, and hopefully you'll get that by the time I'm done here. But I don't care where you are in your sort of journey in life and business, pay attention here, because I believe that you're a leader. All right. So trait number 1 is professional. I think a lot of people get confused about what professional looks like. It's the old days of, the suit clad, stoic manager type from IBM. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about professional, like here's amateurs and here's professionals. The saying is that if you want to get paid like a pro, you got to prepare like a pro, right? Well, what do pros do that are different than amateurs in their preparation? Well, I think number 1, they identify areas that they're weak, not just strong. See, we're all given these God-given talents. And honestly, I think there's some mentors out there that are probably telling our wannabe, our growing up leaders, hey, what you should do is identify your God-given talents, lean into those. Don't worry about your weaknesses. And I actually think it's the other way around. I think God-given talents are fantastic and they elevate, but it would just be like a table, right? Like if you had 2 of the legs of your table that were shorter than the other 2, well, then you probably are going to have a rough meal, right? So it's identifying your shortcomings, your weaknesses, and then growing those, getting really good at them. Well, how do you get really good at them? Well, listen, you've got to be, in order to be a great leader, not a good leader, not a mediocre leader, not just a leader, I'm talking about a great leader. You've got to be the best in the world. Like you've got to be an absolute elite leader. You've got to be the most skilled leader in the world. And I don't know of any other way to become that level of a leader without having a coach or a mentor. So I would say go find one, but find one that has demonstrated that they're a great leader. Find somebody who has what it is that you want. Make sure that you're not falling for the clickbait, if you will, of somebody who's saying that they can teach you how to be a great leader, but they've never been a leader, all right? Like there's lots of people that stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, you gotta have to pursue great leaders though. See, what's interesting is that if you looked at all of the quote unquote leadership coaches that are out there, very, very few of them have ever actually accomplished anything great in leadership. What you find is many of the people that you would expect or you would want as a leader or a mentor, they're probably still busy leading and mentoring within their own organizations. Very seldom do you find somebody like us, for example, that have said, hey, listen, we have a calling and a purpose to provide some level of mentorship and coaching in the leadership space while we're still engaged in leading and mentoring people within our own organization. But you're going to have to pursue the people that you want. Like people, your coach, the perfect coach isn't coming to you pursuing you. That's not how it works. Think about athletes when they're growing up. They go from amateur and they want to go pro. They got to go out and find the perfect coach for them that develops their skills, that becomes just amazing at what they are, what they can do, and then they get drafted by the right teams. Okay. And then last on this, but certainly not least, you've got to become the most coachable person on the planet. I will tell you this, if you go to any of my coaches or mentors, they'll all tell you the same thing. That dude was tenacious and he was coachable. When my coaches tell me something, they shine a light on an area that I need to get better, I do it. And I do it better and faster with more urgency than anybody else. So become a pro by having the right coaches and being exceptionally coachable. Number 2 on my list would be extreme ownership. And some of you are going to listen to this, you're going to be like, oh, that's not right. That doesn't work. Just walk with me for a second, because I really do believe that you are the only person that can determine that you're going to have extreme ownership. But if you give it to yourself, it's actually quite a gift. There was a period of time in my life where I really was a victim, right? That was the opposite of extreme ownership. There were always things happening to me, right? Like I had an excuse for why I was underperforming, why I was in rehab, why we had broken relationships. Listen, I had 4 dads, I had 3 moms, I was kicked out when I was 16, my dad died when I was 16, I was in rehab. Like, come on now. I was a high school dropout, college dropout. I had the story down. But then I changed. I decided, well, I don't like this. This is not the life that I wanted. And truthfully, it's like a boulder coming down the hill. Like, we all have an opportunity, step aside, right? We don't have to keep getting hit by the same boulder over and over and over and over again. And yet sometimes that's exactly what we do. Extreme ownership would say, hey, listen, if I have the ability to avoid the pain, then I have the responsibility to pursue the pleasure. And what that ultimately says is that you can't just take credit for the good stuff. You've got to also take credit of the bad stuff. Keeping going, what that also means then is that things aren't happening to me, they're happening for me. It's just a bridge between the two. I can make the determination that, hey, listen, bad things happen. They were based on a series of decisions that I made over the past, maybe some things that I did or didn't do. Maybe they were small, maybe they were big, maybe they were intentional, maybe they were unintentional, but at the end of the day, they were mine. And so the pain that I'm experiencing is my fault. What's great about that is that I'm not worried about everybody else trying to do something to me. I'm just like, hey, listen, I did this to me. By the same token, then when I have success, it's nobody else's fault, if you will, that I had success. I did that on my own. And listen, I'm not suggesting that there aren't some handouts and some hand-ups and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you will not have success. I don't care who's talking to you, who's providing you opportunities, unless you take action. So when you have success, I want you to be proud of you. I want you to have extreme ownership. I want you to celebrate the fact that you did the work because you did the work. It's extreme ownership. And also, when things go wrong, I want you to also take personal responsibility for that. That is trait number 2 for great leaders. Trait number 3 is gritty. Listen, y'all, great leaders are gritty. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'll give it to you this way, right? Everybody starts the race, but there's only one winner. Everybody starts the race, but there's only one winner. See, everybody is in sales. Every interaction that you have, there's somebody that's going to buy and there's somebody that's going to sell. Every time you go out and you work with a client, if they don't buy from you, that means that they sold you and you were the buyer. See, every time you talk with your kids, talk with your spouse, talk to your customers, there's always a sale going on. Somebody's going to win that sale and somebody's going to lose that sale, but you have to make the determination as to whether or not that's going to be you or not. And oftentimes what happens, especially in leadership and especially in sales, is we forget that we've got to be gritty. We've got to roll up our sleeves. We've got to need to compete, right? The saying is, timid salespeople have skinny kids. Let's not have skinny kids, right? We all know that in order to win in life, in business, we've got to go out and hunt, but not everybody will hunt. See, it's about the grit. So if you want to be a great leader, make sure that you get gritty. The 4th one is teamwork. Now, listen, the saying is you go fast alone, but you go far with a team. And if you aren't willing to do the team, that's fine. You're just not going to go very far, but you go there very quickly. And now sometimes that may be good, but I might tell you that going alone is pretty lonely. And if you go alone, you're going to get lonely real fast. Versus building a team, creating other people around you, having an impact on those people around you. That's the legacy that you leave. See, a lot of people are out there talking about legacy as leaving money behind. That's not it. Money's God's, it'll come and go. That's not the thing. The legacy are the people and what you leave in the people behind. That's the legacy. The only way you build legacy is by creating and building a team, right? So what does that look like? Well, you have to become a trusted team member. A trusted team member tells the truth, pours into others, tells people they have lettuce in their teeth, holds them accountable, gives them a hug when they need a hug, gives them a boot when they need a boot, right? So when I say that we're all team, we're all leaders, you have a team at work, you also have a team at home. Are you building your team? Are you being a great teammate? Is that a trait that you are demonstrating in all areas of your life? And the 5th one is this. And now this one's going to ruffle some feathers because some people are going to say, well, that's not necessarily true. I know some people that have been, pretty successful. That's not what I'm talking about here. Success is defined by many different things. But I really honestly do believe that you can't be a truly successful person and be a bad person. Like, meaning you can't be a good person and do bad things. See, they don't live together. I choose good. I want to be good. My 5th trait is good. They're just good. They're good human beings. They're people that people want to be around. Sometimes So my question to you is this: do people want to be around you? Do people feel better and more powerful when they are around you? Do you bring more energy, or do you zap the energy from the room, right? See, I think oftentimes we forget, like, that is the difference between good and not bad, but certainly not good. Okay, like I don't want you to feel poorly about yourself because you haven't been that person, but you need to understand that in any interaction with folks, there are those people that take energy and there are people that give energy. If you're one of the Eeyores of the world and you're zapping everybody of energy, they don't want to spend more time around you because it's not good. It doesn't feel good. Are you one of those people that goes out and talks smack about other people? We don't call it out, but let's be honest. It's gossip. Gossip is talking to somebody that can neither do anything about it or doesn't have anything directly to do with it. And often that happens more than we would ever like to admit. But if we will really pay attention, we'll find out. By the way, if you are listening to somebody gossip about somebody else to you, I'm telling you right now, the minute they leave you, they are gossiping about you. You and I both know that's true. Okay. So make sure that you are the good. Here's what I would say. I would say great leaders just have this ability to make others feel more powerful. They feel more happier in your presence. They feel prettier. They feel smarter. They feel more capable. They feel like they can just conquer the world. They want to spend more time with you. That's trait 5 of being a great leader. So my 5 traits: we've got professional, we've got gritty, we've got extreme ownership, we've got teamwork, and we've got good. If I left something out on this list that you want to add, please comment below. I want to know. Let's add to the community together. If you know somebody that is a leader or somebody that wants to be a leader, share this with them, tag them in this, whatever it is. But make sure you give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I will see you at the next video.